So remember how I told you yesterday that the only reason my sculpted layers worked was because Georgia May made my tool to do the argyle thing? That's important to remember today, and I'm going to tell you why that's important in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 287 of 365 days of soap, and Georgia May is tackling sculpted layers. Now, Georgia May is great at sculpted layers, so this particular Amy Warden Soap Challenge shouldn't be a problem for her, because she does them a lot. But we decided to actually take this to nightmare mode and try to mimic one of the sculpted layer submissions from the original soap challenge many years ago and do that. So we're doing like an argyle pattern. And you saw mine yesterday. And again, the only reason that mine worked is because Georgia May made my tool and showed me how to use it. And she spent a lot of time doing both of those things. So we're going to go check out Georgia May's pour and her attempt at the argyle right now. And we can talk more about that in the video. And you can figure out why I'm doing all this weird foreshadowing. So it is the Soaprentice's turn to do sculpted layers, and I cut a little bit of the beginning out where she's mixing the lye solution and doing all the things because the video was running very long. And so yes, that you saw the lye in like almost every video before. So add lye, 2 oils, same oil blend as yesterday, and same scent blend as well. So we are using the Persephone's Kiss for the sculpted layers from Nurture Soap, and I don't remember if we decided that was a dupe or not. I don't think so, but it's very good. It's very alluring, very sexy. Not quite floral, not quite sweet, not quite fruity, not quite earthy. It's all of that. All of the things. It's a very lovely, sexy blend for sure. I wouldn't call it clean. I would call it alluring. Complicated. For sure. Yes, Persephone's Kiss. Yes, good. So prep work for the first layer is right here. She has measured out a portioned amount for her black, and that will be the first layer to go into the mold during the pour. And so for that reason, prep work kind of short. Let's go to the pour. Now on to the pour. Georgia May has set up her mold on a heating pad that's been heated up to help the layers firm up faster, really, during all of this, so she doesn't spend a whole lot of time just waiting to pour the next layer, and then you're having to, like, you know, gently stir your soap batter to keep it fluid, all the stuff that's in your big container before you measure anything out, all the things. And so yes, it's a smart trick. It works reasonably well, heating it up while you are heating up the mold itself, so the stuff that's in the mold firms up quicker. Love that. Now she is taking, yeah, about 10-ish ounces out of each of the containers to do the layers. Now remember, we're also going with the with this, we are also doing, we're working on that argyle, right? And so it looks like maybe she's wanting to go around 11 ounces. Okay, cool. So we are going with an argyle like the one I showed yesterday, right? And the one that I showed yesterday for mine It was a pull through. I mean, it worked reasonably well. Like, it surprisingly was not terrible, and I thought it was totally gonna be, because I forgot where I was and what I was doing and all of the reversing of the tool and doing of all the things multiple times throughout all of it. But this was a tool. The reason why it went well is because Georgia May made the tool. And so she made her one too. And she even numbered it. So pulls 1, 3, and 5 go this way, and then she flips it over and pulls 2 and 4 go from the other side of the tool that she made. Right? That's the whole thing. And here's the thing. Georgia May had already made her sculpted layers soap, this one right here, with this tool, before I made mine. She had already made it. Oh, yay, mica lines. It's fun. These things are stupid. They're not fun at all. Like, this thing, they're awful. No. But yeah, look, there's mica lines. She actually committed herself to doing the mica lines throughout the entire pour with all of this, I think. I don't think she actually did. I don't think she missed one. I got tired of it and I stopped putting them in. But yes, so with her bar, she's going like black, gray, white. It's a black and white, you know, shades of gray thing for it. And again, she did this soap before I did mine that I showed yesterday, right? So she had already made it and cut it. And so when I asked her, it's been cut, I'm looking at it, and I give it to her, and I'm like, okay, so what went wrong? So there's your spoiler. Kind of goes wrong. It goes wrong as far as the argyle pattern, right? So you see that tool that's up there by the smaller Pyrex, kind of, you know, mid-right of the, you know, shot there. Do you notice anything with that? We didn't notice anything with that for a good 20 minutes as we're trying to figure out the right way to pull and why, you know, the little triangles were not lining up or whatever. And Georgia May's working it out. She's talking about it, and she's, you know, whatever. And then she says they're the exact same. They're the exact same on each side. Her little triangles through the pull through, they're the same on both sides. So yeah, because they needed to be off-centered, right? So essentially like 4 triangles on the bottom and 3 triangles on the top, and then you flip the thing over, like the tool that I did yesterday, like the tool that she made for me to do my pour yesterday. And that tool works. But it was at that exact moment where she realized, oh, what went wrong. Because she used a tool that had the exact same pull, the exact same sculpting on both sides. And so then it was a process of her like spending 20-30 minutes more making a new one, and then even like taking it onto a piece of paper and tracing it out, and then flipping it over and tracing it again to make sure that it worked, because that was, so we're not going to get an argyle out of the end of all of this. That's not happening. But I am certain that we will end up with a beautiful bar of soap, beautiful sculpted layers anyway. And because it's Georgia May. She's really, really good at sculpted layers. She likes them. They're fun for her. That's cool. But yeah, it's not going to be an argyle. I'm telling you that right now. But I'm certain it's going to be gorgeous. And, you know, also I saw the cut, so it was gorgeous for sure. But yeah, this one did not work out. And during the pouring, I don't think that she was, I mean, I'm certain that she was not realizing that it wasn't going to work out or whatever, because she didn't realize that until the next day when I'm like, okay, what went wrong? I need to know from your experiences so I can do mine right. And that's when it hit her that the tool was exactly the same on both sides. And so she's effectively pulling the same triangles through all of the layers, which is cool. That's still going to look amazing and awesome and fun. It's, you know, it's still going to be an amazing sculpted layer. But as far as getting the argyle pattern into it, that's not going to be happening with this. But she does get mica lines into it. Look at that. More mica lineage. There's There's more. I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit because it's a lot. Oh no, I'm just gonna cut it out completely. Yeah, even better. Look, a beautiful mica line has been laid down. Yeah, this video footage when she sent it to me was over an hour long, and a lot of it was A, waiting for things to set up, or 2, mica lines, because they take a while. And you would think that the soap batter in the containers and the Pyrex and everything would set up during that time, but no, not so. Still had to work to get them to the right consistency so she could continue to do her pouring and everything. I'll tell you what though, this Persephone's Kiss that goes into this, that they're putting in here, it does a really great job of actually extending that batter's trace, of loosening up the batter, because you saw how thick it was, and then in the jump, you know, cut, it was thinner. It was thin enough to do this, to pour. Like, that's lovely. And it says there's no acceleration or discoloration, and that's true. But what it should also say is that it slows trace, because it loosened up the batter so nicely. So nicely. There are a number of fragrance oils out there that say it won't really accelerate or discolor, and it won't. They won't. But then they also don't loosen the batter like this. Like, you see how thick that is? She's gonna put some more. She's gonna put her scent blend in, and by the time she does that, it will be a reasonably fluid, you know, batter, so she doesn't have to super glop it on. Like, she was able to pour that over a spatula. Did you see her spatula pouring skills too, by the way? She's shown those a couple times so far. She's been great. And sure, that's the side that you use. 1, 3, 5. Yes. Oh, God. So maybe she only ended up with 5 layers for this one, now that I think, because she went black, gray, white. And based on the measurements that she's been putting in, yeah, I would say 5 layers. Well, I mean, in her little tool it says 2, 4 on one side and 1, 3, and 5 on the other. So she did a 5 layer, which still could have totally worked with an argyle and it would have been super cute. The picture that we were going off of was a 7 layer, and ultimately mine from yesterday ended up being a 9 layer, but that was just because I was just flying by the seat of my pants as far as how much to use in each section, and realized that I had more soap batter than I needed to finish off the bar, you know, about 3 pours in. So I'm like, oh well, we're gonna add a couple extra layers, and so that's what happened. But yeah, no more fun with the sifter, the sprayer. Mica lines suck. These things are not good. Like, they are not fun at all. No. I'm shocked that she had enough patience to actually continue to lay down really nice mica lines throughout this whole pour, because, like I said, I was like 4 layers into this 9-layer bar that I did yesterday, and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is a no. You know? And look, now I sped it up. Look, yeah, it's... They don't work well. They're not... No. But, you know, whatever. I have to admire Georgia May's perseverance throughout all of that. No. But yeah, you see, she had added right before she poured this, she added the Persephone's Kiss, a little bit of the fragrance oil. She's just scenting the batches, the sections as she goes. And that's delightful. That's a good fluidity to lay over an existing layer, but also it will ensure that, but it's also not so thin that it won't set up, you know, reasonably fast so she can do another pull. So that's awesome. And she's got a little bit of the fragrance left, so it looks like she's going to add the activated charcoal just directly to that and pour it in. Now that's interesting and actually not a bad idea. Depending on when she actually incorporates that into her batter, I think this might be why she's doing it. Activated charcoal, so the coloring of the batter, activated charcoal can start to thicken up an already thick batch of soap, right? Because this already has kaolin clay in it, and then you also add activated charcoal, and that really does start to thicken it up even more. And as you can see, that soap's pretty thick. So I'm thinking probably she's dispersing the activated charcoal within the scent blend, because it's a very, very lightweight, you know, powder, so you can totally do that to give her enough time to do the pulls, and then just also, you know, color and you know, sent it at the same time. Probably because she was also noticing that that scent blend was loosening up the batter really nicely. So 2 birds, 1 stone, all the things. And yeah, she just did the whole excited hands there, like, yay, it's all working and I'm almost done. And here's more mica lines. I have to do it again. That's less fun. That's, oh God, that's, no. That's such a no for me. I love her. I love her. I love her persistence for sure. So it's that final push, and at this point I would have been like, oh, well, I'll just do a little and say that I did it. But she knows that if she doesn't do it all, it's not going to show up in that one layer. She successfully put mica lines down between all of the layers, and if she just sort of half-asses it in the last layer, well, it's not gonna be good, is it? And so this is the final layer with the activated charcoal, which makes such a gorgeous jet black, amazing soap. I think earlier she actually pulled out a like black mica for the gray portion, and I was confused. Like, oh God, we have black mica? I had no idea that we had any black mica anywhere in the shop, because I use activated charcoal for everything. But she used it for the gray portion, and that was cool. I like that. That's a good use for black mica. Turn things gray. Use it at 50%, 25%, whatever. And this one getting less thin for this one, but also this has been sitting, the soap batter has been sitting for over an hour at this point. And so, yeah, it's gonna be thicker. And ultimately, I don't know if she's gonna get a pouring consistency out of it, but we shall see. And kinda, yeah, kinda. That's good. Way to go. That's impressive. Yeah. No, seriously, as far as Persephone's Kiss goes for extending the trace, it's good. It loosens up the batter really delightfully. So for that reason, I would totally use it again. I would use it again though, because I don't know if that sounded like wouldn't. I would use it again though, just because it smells amazing. It's a really good scent. And again, no discoloration, which is kind of rare for something that smells like sexy sexy, because usually sexy sexy has some note of vanilla in it, or you know, something else that's going to usually has vanilla notes in it, because you know that ground sexy sexy smells really well, and so usually you get discoloration as a result. But not so with this one. It's no discoloration, so you could use it for any number of things, including white soaps, which is cool. And yeah, this will get put into the mold for C-pop and gel, but not before she makes a beautiful top using more mica lines, which is just, God. Now that's not bad. That actually didn't come out too bad for that one. Isn't it interesting how all the struggles for I mean, the ones in the middle though, you have to use more mica anywhere. You need a thicker line to lay down, otherwise it won't show up in the cut. But you know, whatever. But yes, she's going to make the top super beautiful, then put it in the oven for C-pop and gel, because that's what we do with all the things. And we will cut into this and show you the, not argyle, but as I said before, still a gorgeous, gorgeous batch of soap. It's going to be beautiful. And let's go check that out right now. And now on to the cut, and that sure does look pretty. It is amazing. We've got some holes kind of in the middle there from the thicker soap batter or whatnot, but we cut our soaps very soft, so it's very easy to sort of smoosh and smooth everything out, or use the end pieces to clean up any spots that you may see as well. Also an option. And now I'm cutting this because they needed to be cut, and so I did the thing. And yeah, that is a beautiful bar of soap. Those layers are delightful. I like the color scheme. I like everything about it. It's very lovely. It's a great sculpted layer, for sure. And it fits the scent blend really well. Like, really well. This color pattern definitely fits the scent blend. And the mica lines are cute, and they are defined, and that is nice, for sure. It's just not the argyle, which was what we were challenging ourselves with. But, you know, ultimately, if this were being, you know, actually submitted for the soap challenge, Amy Warden didn't know that we were challenging ourselves with Argyle, so you could totally still submit. So there's definitely that. I don't know, I like these. I think they're very pretty. I love black and gray and white soaps just in general. That's like the color scheme that rules my life. So whenever I see it in soap form, I'm all about it. And all things considered, those are lovely bars of soap. And so I think she nailed Sculpted Layers. And yeah, that is day 287, the Soaprentice's turn at Amy Warden's Sculpted Layers Soap Challenge. So the Persephone's Kiss is such a delightful scent. For sure. Like, it is delicious. Love that across the board. So good. Georgia May Sculpted Layers. So good. Beautiful bar of soap. I love the black and white, Pat. That's so good. It's so nice to not have to put big bright colors into soaps every once in a while. And it is absolutely delightful. Her mica lines were great. Everything was good. The tool that she made for herself was the same on the top as it was the bottom. And so for that reason, her layers didn't line up, but they would have otherwise. So again, as a sculpted layer goes, it's a beautiful bar of soap. As we were mimicking the actual Argyle pattern, it didn't quite hit, but I still think she deserves all the credit for mine yesterday, because I would not have been able to do that without the appropriate tool, and she built my tool. So that said, if you're interested in getting mine or her Argyle Sculpted Layer Persephone's Kiss soap, you can totally find it at the website at soapandclay.com. If you're interested in seeing what else we come up with for 365 days of soap and what other Amy Warden Soap challenges we tackle, you could subscribe to the channel. That would be cool. I would love to have you. For those of you who have subscribed to the channel, hey, thanks. I'd love to have you. I'm glad that you are my sudser for sure. I hope you guys had fun today. Learned a lot. Tell Georgia May in the comments just how awesome she's doing, because of course she's great at all of the things. And I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.